Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be for you. Welcome back to another CODS First Thoughts episode. Today we're taking on Spaggies Miserable Apocalypse. We've got a random character. You can't choose your character on this one. I hear Dicko and a couple of other people. I think it was Dicko who mentioned it first in chat recently. Said that he played this, had died after keeping a character going for quite some time. And I thought, you know what, I've played this before, full disclosure, once or twice. The first time was a long time ago. The second time was yesterday when I installed all the mods and I wanted to just make sure they were all working. And there are about 8, 9, 10 mods. And the first thing you'll notice is you spawn in with red hydration, yellow food, you're freezing, yellow health. So you're on the clock immediately. I know where I've spawned. I'm up the road from Solnichny. That's where the nearest well is. So immediately I'm prioritizing curing my hydration. I will need a buff to stop freezing to death, which is why I'm going to grab a second stick on the way. And it's this initial decision that will determine whether you're going to live or die on this server. It's vanilla in respect of you don't have to search the zombies. You can just tap into the vicinity. There is no Siberia mod for the illnesses. But if you've been playing DAYZ for a while, maybe you've got 500 hours, maybe you've got 1,000 hours plus, and your traditional official servers are not giving you that survival challenge you want, but maybe the Siberia mod is a little bit too much for you to take on, or it's just not your bag. This server really gives you a challenge in terms of the survival, because you are on the clock immediately. We're not going to be able to get a fire unless we get a blade to get some bark to make a hand drill kit. So there is an element of luck to this, whether you get lucky or not in your first 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. And also the immediate decision you make. So you have to identify where you've spawned, and you have to, in your brain, within like 30 seconds, you need to know where's the nearest well. Get some sticks ready for a fire. Can we get a lighter? Can we get a flare? Can we get matches? Great. If not, you've got to get a blade. So we've put all the server details in the description. You can go onto your launcher of choice and just search for Spaggies. All the Spaggies servers will come up. And then just choose Spaggies Miserable Apocalypse. And believe me, it is miserable. We're going to hit red food soon. We're going to hit red flashing hydration. But at least we're in touching distance of the gas station. We're not walking as quickly as we'd like to because we're yellow health. Got a little bit of limp in the step. But I do think it's worth looting this just in case we get that really fluky blade straight off the rip. And then we could make an immediate fire and get a buff in Solnichny, knowing that we're quite close to the well. And if you think about it, the choice between sipping at the well or making a fire will be longer. Breaking down the sticks, putting everything into the fireplace, getting the fire going, whereas you can just sit at the well, press F on your keyboard and start drinking, and then that's going to stop you from dying of dehydration. We've got something on our head, but we've also got to look at covering our extremities very quickly, otherwise we're going to get frostbite. See that little blue square that's covering now the face and the hands? The head is covered, so we're fine. I'm going to make my way towards this bridge, and goddamn, should I there were a couple of fishing boats back there. I might regret not looting them, because if there had been a flare on one of them, it's our fire without having to find a blade. I do know of 2 or 3 fishing boats that are just to the left of the bridge here. So I do think it's going to be worth looting them before we head into town. And then I've just got to hit the sheds up. The first few houses on the left. And we've got to pray we've got a way of starting a fire. Come on. This is what gets the adrenaline going on this server. The initial fact that you are on the clock big time. There's only 2 boats here. I thought there were 3. There's a little bit of industrial there. I don't know whether it's going to be worth looting. I don't even care if we find a fishing hook. Look. Scripted. At the moment, that's down on the list of priorities. Okay, it's third on the list of priorities, but if we sit here fishing, we can't do anything with the fish anyway. We can't fillet it, and we can't cook it. So we got to keep going. It is a nice find, though. Zombies are like your normal DayZ zombies, from what I can see on my little test run yesterday. Just punch them down, 3 heavy hits, and they're done. But you don't want to catch too many bleeds, because you're only spawning with 2 disinfected rags, although there is a hospital in Solnichny. There are... oh my god. There you go. Straight off the rip, we've got the way of making our fire. And we're going to get a buff. Drop the jacket a minute, son. Get 2 pieces of bark. 1 for the kindling, 1 for the drill kit. Keep the jacket. For rags, we're going to need rags to make gloves. And can we get in this building without... oh, okay. There's your quick answer to that. No, we can't. Sickle puts him down with 2, which is nice. Get the hot bar back. Christmas tree lights, fantastic. More rags, lovely. Server restart in 10 minutes, so obviously we'll do the same thing that we normally do. We'll pause the recording, and then I'll pick it up on the other side of the restart, so you guys won't have to sit through the 2 or 3 minutes. It's about 1 PM in game time, so we should be okay. Oh my god. Come on, you gotta be quicker than this, Mike. Or Michaela. We weren't able to choose our own character on this server. Now, see how long it takes to make the fire, opposed to just pressing F and drinking at the well? I think I've made the right decision here. Apart from that. I think we can get the buff, and we can get over to the well before we flat out die of hydration. Oh my god, he's made an absolute shocker again. Shocker. Oh, bro, what are you doing with your life? Right, leave that there. Come on. Stop being panicking, Skywalker. Make a drill kit, bro. We've already wasted valuable seconds. Don't do this. Get the fire going. Sometimes you'll play servers, and if you haven't got enough good insulation clothing, and you're sat next to one of these piddly little ovens, you don't get the buff. I'm hoping today is not going to be one of those days. Let's cover our extremities. Let's make some gloves and a face covering while we're sat in front of the fire. We may have to go and grab... oh, we can do them both with this. We can get the hoodie later. Great. Get the hand wraps done. Damaged as well, so they're not going to ruin immediately. Let's make a face covering. Bish bash bosh. I really want to see that temperature gauge hit white soon. Otherwise I'm going to start panicking. Extremities covered. Come on, dude. Nothing on top of the fridge for us to eat? That would just be clutch. Like a can of unknown food, it would be just huge. Oh, there we go. We've hit the white temperature, so we know now we're definitely going to get the buff. Okay? So we're not going to be dying of temperature. The food situation is not great. Okay, but it's going to be the hydration that's going to be killing us. And we're not going to be doubling down on reasons to be dying, if that makes sense, because we would have got rid of the heat problem for now anyway. We're going to sit here until we get a buff. I'm going to make a decision to do this and go back to the fire. And there we go, flashing red hydration. We're now in dire straits. The temperature gauge has now got a downward arrow on it as well. There we go, we're back to an upwards trajectory. Keep that separate to our disinfected rags in case we get a cut from the zombie. That's not really worth anything now because we're going to get the buff from the fire, not from the heat pack, but we'll keep it on us while we've got the space. Once that arrow disappears from the temperature gauge, it means we're very, very close to having the plus. There you go, it's gone. And once that plus is there, we've got to beeline it to the well. But knowing Solnichny, like I do, we may have to fight some zombies on the way, which is going to eat into the clock that we're on at the moment. Worryingly. First impressions, this is a CODS First Thoughts episode. I love this immediate challenge. The thrill of being on the clock. You've got to find certain items or you're dead. Simple as that. You've got to make quick decisions. Where's the well? Where am I most likely to find a blade? Where am I most likely to find fishing hooks, flares, alcohol with hit red health? Fantastic. But I would imagine, even if it took you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lives, once you get that start, once you get that momentum, the sense of achievement, the sense of fulfillment in getting over that hurdle, the big hump at the beginning, is going to be very appealing to some people. So initially now, 10, 11 minutes in, I like the challenge. As it's winter Chinaris and it's got all the defrosting the food and frostbite and everything, I think that's great as well. If people don't like Namolsk, then jump on the sort of Chinaris version of Namolsk, if you like. Now, we want to go wide because we don't want to fight... Well, any zombies would be great, but let's face it, that's not going to happen. I'm popping my head in to look... Oh, here we go. Look in the greenhouses in case there was like a potato or a soda there. Do you know what's interesting as well? You can't really take any damage off the zombies because you're already red health. You can't take too much damage anyway. You might get away with a slap. But being as we're going to be hitting red flashing soon, that is an extra element of danger. Duct tape while we're there. I shouldn't really be looting, but come on. Duct tape in a winter map is huge. Oh my lord. Is that freezing? Yeah, of course it's frozen. It will not defrost in my clothing. Like you can sometimes defrost items on other servers in your clothing over time. That's not the case here. You can only do it in front of a fire, next to a fireplace. Oh, Grandma. Thank God we found the sickle. Oh my God. Grandma, we love you. I'm pretty sure that's going to be frozen when we peel it. Not very appealing. Bruh. We'll put the genuine face mask on and we'll drink. Now, watch our arrows go up on our water. 2, 3, 4 seconds, something like that. I think it takes longer to make a fire. Collect the sticks, break the sticks down, collect the bark, make the hand drill kit, put it all in the fire. Wait for the fire to be going 2 or 3 seconds before your character goes from dark blue to light blue or light blue to white. So I do think the order in which we did that was the correct decision. A lot of luck involved, but it was the right decision. I would obviously drink now until I get the full stomach symbol. And then next on our priority is food. We've got a can of soda, we've got a potato, and we've got a way of peeling the potato. I'm not interested one bit in the medical. Couldn't give a monkeys. We're going to loot around the houses of Solnichny, and we're going to try and find enough food, or as much food as we can, and then we're going to make a second fire and defrost that food and deal with number 3 priority, the food sitch, which is still yellow, but is not going to be that way for long. I'm quickly jumping into the hunting store, even though food is my priority. Just in case, you never know, you might find something real nice. I mean, there are 6 rags there if you want them. Believe it. Another zombie. Closing in. Here we go. Don't want to take any hits if I can help it. So oh my god, a frying pan would be nice. Because the frying pan will stay warm in your clothing even after cooking. And it will retain some heat for you. On a winter map, it's huge. Oh my god, we're yellow health. Oh my god, cat food. Immediately, I think that justifies another fire. We could go back to the original fire. Is it still going? Yeah. Server restart in 2 minutes. That means if we put food down on the floor, it would potentially disappear. So that's what's going to make my mind up that we're going to make another fire. We've still got a blade to get bark. Do you know what I'm going to do? Because it's not a blizzard, and it's not going to get wet in our clothing. I'm going to immediately start preparing for this next fire. Okay? 2 long sticks. Stacks are going up. Let's do preparation for the next job. There's the restart. Good job we didn't go back to the next fire. I'll see you guys on the other side of the restart. Okay, so we're loading back in. Other side of the restart will be exactly where we left off. We're back in this sleep animation for some reason after the restart. Okay, we had 1 long stick. This has regrown after the restart, so we'll hit the same bush. Pause. To get our second stick. What I'm doing, I'm thinking ahead, right? We could get swamped by zombies now. I'm gonna put the hot bar back on for you as well in a second. We've got that little oh, there it is. I'm thinking we could get swamped by zombies. I've got to suddenly kill a few zombies and my blade ruins. Oh, like that, look at that. It was on the brink of ruining, but I've already got my bark now ready for kindling and to make the hand drill kit for my next fire to defrost my food. So it's not great. We've no blade now. We have to find a replacement for future fires, for opening cans, etc. Luckily the cat food we got doesn't need a blade to open it. But I'm going to head down this street. Ooh, I'm not even going to search the pub. I don't tend to get lucky in the pubs with food, so I think little decisions like that as well, not time wasting, not looting everything, unless you're like really desperate and you think, come on, I really need to find a blade in this next building. Oh my god, look at that blade. Zombie, please don't touch me. Stay away. Heathen. Have I got room to pocket this? I haven't. And what I'm doing now, I'm looking at my stats, okay? We're still hungry, of course. More duct tapes, lovely. Health is still going up, though. Hydration is white. We've still got the buff. Let's use... I mean, if we hit red food... Yeah, I'm diving into the nearest house. I'm making my next fire. Why did I drop the duct tape and pick up the hammer? Trick will tell you. Meat tenderizer. You can get yourself small stones from a boulder and make yourself some stone knives, which are going to be essential on a server like this. Right, we've got another zombie to deal with. It's okay. We've got the handsaw in hand. Health is still going up. Got time. Nearly mistimed that heavy hit. Got away with it. Handsaw is still worn, so I'm still going to rock it as a melee. I certainly don't want a bag of lime, sir. Doghouse for all you Roy fans. Oh, there we go. Red health. Okay. So, oh god, the hatchet is huge. Eventually. Alright. Doing the fire here. We're doing it. You make the decision. We don't muck about. Okay? Don't muck about. Bum, bum, bum. And now he's mucking about. Right. Break your sticks down. Health is going down again because of the food situation. Hydration, heat, temperature, fine. Blood, fine. Only dying to food now. Get the fire on. Get the bark in there. Break these sticks down. Extra set of bark that we've already got. I mean, as it turns out, we found a saw and then a steak knife, so... And there's a hatchet outside, so it wouldn't be the end of the world if we'd have fought zombies and our sickle had ruined before we got the bark, but it would have been panicking big time. We don't need to use that for cooking, but I could put it on the stove just to get some heat, like I said, and then that'll retain its heat in your inventory. Keep that buff on you, potentially, for a bit longer. So even if you don't plan on cooking meat with the utensils, we should be able to put that straight on there, yeah. Always put your cans on the cooking space. they will defrost a lot quicker than just being left at the side, like the Pepsi. Peel the potato. Let's see how much we get off the potato. I'm going to bake the potato to get more calories out of it. It's not great, but it'll do. Should be able to bake it. And what you can do, you can put that there. Oh, wait for this to cook first. But you could put the pan. We've already got the buff because it's not long since our last fire. But if we were freezing to death and we desperately needed to get the buff quickly, you can put that on the stove for like 5 seconds, maybe 10, and then keep it in your pants. That's what she said. And you'll get the buff quicker by having that hot pan in your pants, but it doesn't matter so much for us now because of the position we're in. How are we doing though? Do we do a bandana? Decisions. Could do. Look at that. That's already edible. Right? I'm going to put it to one side. We're going to eat our potato. Oh! Wait. Massive mistake. Forgot we were playing in the Molsk mod. You've got to wait for your food to cool. We've just knocked ourselves from yellow into red. What an absolute clown. But the initial bite from the potato got us up to yellow food. Sometimes you've got to do what you've got to do. That was unintentional, of course, but we need this cat food to be down to, I believe, 70 degrees. A way of testing is hold the food up in front of you. See the steam coming off it? It's not ready to be eaten. So put it down. Watch this now. See the frying pan? Wait for the little red square. See, it's 40 degrees. 50 degrees. It's still damaged. 60 degrees. Make sure you don't ruin it, obviously, on the hob. 70 degrees. 80. We'd like it to be about 100. 90. There's 100. Put it in the clothing. It'll retain its heat. It's not giving me the red background like the potato and the cat food, which is weird when I put it back in the inventory, but I'm pretty sure that will retain some heat. Cat food is fine now, I think. Well, usually on the Molsk it's 70 degrees. We'll see. We're up to yellow health again, so we can knock ourselves back down to red if we have to. There you are. The character's not making the grunting noise that we did when we ate it when it was too hot. Stop! COD, you twat! With cat food, though, you only want to eat a third of a can, like that. Put it back down. Because you can overeat cat food very, very quickly. The Pepsi, I want to make sure it's as close to this fire as possible when I drop it. Maybe just a psychological thing, but I want it as close as possible. When you've got the heat buff, you can drink something or you can eat something when it's freezing. So see, it says freezing there, whereas the cat food was drenched. Now it's fully thawed out. But if you were desperate, say you were red flashing hydration, as long as that's freezing, as long as you've got the plus, you won't harm yourself from drinking your Pepsi. And it's going to give us calories, as well as a beautiful bit of hydration, of course, which we were already retaining from our sip at the well. What's the potato looking like? Apologies for the terrible Irish accent. We'll smash the potato down. Now we can keep the old cat food on us. If we keep it in our clothing, it will refreeze. Okay? Oh, there now it's got a red. See up there, it's got a red surround. Put it back in the clothing. How can I carry? Can I carry this saw? I'm gonna get rid of that. We don't need it. Ah, do you know what? It's beautiful. We can't put anything that's in our container on our hotbar because it's in the container. So I'm going to take the disinfected rags out so we can easily access them. Okay? And we're going to keep these in here to protect them. If a zombie slaps us, they shouldn't get ruined. We can keep the cat food in our hand now and nibble on the go because we're still on the clock. This looks like a breezy little start to some people. It feels like a breezy little start to me. We've got real lucky, let's be honest, with what we found. But I still feel like I'm on the clock. I want better clothing for insulation. I want as many blades as possible. I know there was a hatchet back there I could have taken. If I was going to keep this character and go on a run for days and days and days and try to go to Tizzy, I would try and find a way of taking that hatchet with me. But we found a meat tenderizer we can make small stones with. We found a steak knife. So I'm not prioritizing. We can now keep the saw as a blade and use the baseball bat on the zombies. So yeah, I'm not prioritizing grabbing everything. The baseball bat's an easy decision because you can put it on your shoulder slot. But my plan now would be... I'm already thinking ahead. Where do I want to go after this? I would probably stick to the coast on this particular server. There's no way I feel geared enough to go inland. Coast, nice fishing for mackerel. Gives you the best calorific content over the carp you get from the ponds and streams. So I'd probably head down now to Three Valleys. Or would I think of going up to Berezino? The decision is yours anyway. Oh my god, bro. That's a tough one. Can we take it? Yeah. We need a way of carrying water. It will freeze. When you fill it up at the well, it will freeze, but you just drop it down next to a fire and it will defrost, and then you'll have clean water on you. I'm not even bothered about a gun. I'm in this for the survival today, so if we had capacity, if I had a bag, I would take the IJ. But as we don't, I'm prioritizing survival equipment over trying to get a little bit naughty with someone equipment. Let's say. Pause. Oh my god, we've got more food for our next meal. I'm already thinking ahead of the next fire. Okay, so the cat food's going to buy us plenty of time. But we need to start collecting our feast for our next fire. And so far that feast consists of water, because we could defrost this. Sorry, empty this, go back to the well, fill it up. It might freeze over, but then we can drop it by our fire and get tons of hydration at the next fire with clean water. So clean water, if we go back to the well. I probably won't for the sake of this video, but you would. Clean water and sardines at our next fire. I'm already making the menu up in my head. When will I be satisfied? Sometimes you have to deal with the hand you're given and just cook up 1 can of sardines just to survive. But if you can make a mental note of your ideal menu, 3 or 4 cans and a soda, do you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they can kick the doors down as well on this server. Should we find out? Well, maybe they will, maybe they won't. Cheeky little BK. We've got room on the shoulder, so we're going to take it just for the flashiness of it. We're going to take a hoodie over a shirt, because we can fix up that hoodie. And it's better insulation than the shirt we're wearing. Where's this zombie? Hello. I'm going to go this way. See the food situation? Not dire. But the arrows are going down already, even though we've had a potato, a soda, and most of this cat food. Oh my days. We're going to swap the frying pan out for the cooking pot, because with the cooking pot you can make the improvised cooking stand on the fly. And now we can get rid of the canteen if we want to make room, because we can just instead fill the cooking pot up with water and carry it with us and defrost it as and when we seem fit. We're going to fix that up. I'm hoping to find a better face covering than the bandana, so I'm not going to waste the duct tape on the bandana or the cap for the same reason. But the hoodie is good for now, gives us medium insulation. I think the shirt we had on was low insulation. And we're going to take a little dip into the train carriages of dreams, because sometimes you can get an epoxy, a lockpick, something nice like that. Nibbling as we go, keeping the arrows going in the right direction. I probably should have searched in those shorts to make sure there was nothing in them. You only have to glance at them and see if a plus symbol comes up. But it doesn't, so it means there's nothing hiding in the shorts. Pause. Lots of pauses today. I'm going over here because I know there's a civilian barracks, which could have something real nice. And I'm not panicking, because I know I've got a can of sardines on me. It's not great, but it's not disastrous. Something I probably should be thinking about doing I bet one of you has already thought of it. While we've got blades, we've got 2 disinfected rags. We haven't been to the medical yet. You could go to the medical now. Try and find a bandage. So that becomes your bandage, funny enough. Then, use the rags that we've got to make our own rope. We've already got a fishing hook. We've already got 6 rags. So we only need 6 more. This is nice. We've only got 6 more. Need 6 more to make our own rope. And then we can go fishing. We're in such a strong position then. But I'm not going to use those 2 rags that we've got now, straight off the rip, in case we need to fix ourselves up. If we get a cut from a zombie and we haven't got a disinfected bandage, we're going to have to use the bandage, or we're going to die. We're going to bleed out. We'd have to use a dirty rag, basically. And then if you get a wound infection, it's a whole world of pain on this server. Whole world of pain. But with those aside, we only need 5 more rags now to be able to make our own rope. Right, tactical gloves. Better than the improvised gloves. These are better than the ones we've got because of the capacity it now gives us. This is why I came to these civilian barracks. If you can get military clothing, it might not be great insulation. Oh, it's high, so it's pretty good. But more importantly, it's going to give you a lot more capacity. Because you might be like me, and you've not found a bag yet, which is disgusting. Bad insulation, not going to wear a helmet. There's no Siberia mod on here, so I'm not worried about concussion and the like. But I am going to go back towards these buildings. We still need rags for rope. Come on, bro. So we need more clothing. And you never know. If you've got a good melee weapon like this baseball bat, you might kill a zombie and they might drop some loot. Oh, there you go. Canvas bag sorted. We're only rags away from being able to fish. 5 rags, was it? What's that in there? A bit of clothing, you say, sir? Suits you, sir. I think I just heard a zombie, but we'll see. Still yellow. Back down to yellow food. But the food we found so far, including the sardines we've got on us, have bought us enough time to loot around with these last few rags, make our own rope, and then we can fish over there. We're not far from a lovely little fishing spot if you're in Solnichny. We've just got to find those last few rags. We've got a blade on us that will enable us to dig for worms. The steak knife. Dig a couple of worms up. Catch a fish. Robert's your father's brother. Alright, add them on there. Take that. Take 2 stacks of 6 rags. You've got your own rope. We already found that fishing hook earlier. We've got the capacity to fish. What state is it in? It's damaged, so we're going to get a good few chances to make a successful catch. Make sure you don't amalgamate those two. If we see a boulder on the way, we can get ourselves some small stones as well. But for now, I'm just going to put everything nice and accessible, not in the cooking pot, and we're going to leave. Right? We're on the clock, remember? We're still yellow food. The only food we've got on us is frozen. Do we really want to be starting a fire just for 1 can of food? No. But if we can catch some fresh fish to go with it... Hello, sir? Then we'll have a nice little cook-up. Ideally, when it's nighttime in the server, what a great way to spend the night it would be. Oh my lord. And we've got a can of peaches for us for our dessert. I'm going to pick up a long stick. You need a long stick to go with your rope to make a fishing rod. We're going to go like that. And I can see a boulder. I can feel Trick getting excited already. Through the monitor. Get those monitor wet wipes ready. Because I hope we haven't given it the big un. I hope the meat tenderizer works on this. We haven't got room on our back for the stick, but we'll lay it down for now. We had the hammer ready, and there you go, small stone. Look at that bomb. Bob's your uncle. Looks like it's slowly turning dark. This is going to be a perfect time to catch a mackerel or two. We go like that. That's ruined. Small stone. Onto the boulder. Gives you the prompt. Stone knife. Beautiful. Stone knife there. Hot bar it, because we're going to need it. I think on top of this little... There is a better fishing spot than this, but... Yeah, should we do it in the right position? I'm almost tempted to see if we could cook outside, though. Because if you cook outside on a sharp stick, usually the fish immediately comes off cooked at 70 degrees, and you can eat it straight away. You haven't got to wait for it to cool down. So although it's a bit of a pain in the ass making the fire, making the sharp stick, cooking outside, you get the immediate rewards of being able to eat immediately. But whether you're going to be able to do this or not depends on your current temperature when you've caught the fish. Okay, so if our temperature plummeted now and we started dying, I might go and get another fire, because we've now justifiably got a way of getting some nice grub, the peaches and the sardines. If I hadn't found the peaches on the zombie, I'd probably have persevered with the fishing until we've got a fish. Unless you're red health, you know, you can't do that. Come on. We're going to leave our fishing rod here because it stands out like a sore thumb. And we're going to move towards the trees. And as you do, it'll give you a prompt to dig up your worms. Now, I like to get 2. I always like to assume for every attempt to catch a fish, we're going to fail at least once. So 2 worms will ideally guarantee me a fish. He says that. They're probably both going to fail now, I know. But let's just get our 2 worms and see if this scripted run can carry on. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Miserable apocalypse. We're having a whale of a time out here, Spaggy. What are you talking about? Perhaps you ain't heard about Michael? Oh, Michaela. Who are we today? Michaela. Alright, let's get our hook done. Oh, we're having a little bit of server performance problems there. Maybe Spaggy or Jack. You heard me slagging him off? Not slagging you off. We're not slagging you off. This is a good server. I think this is... while we're fishing, we'll have another little chat. This is COD's First Thoughts. Oh, I thought for a minute then there was a crazy fishing mod. Come on, man. So, 37 minutes in, I was initially impressed. I'm now very impressed because I'm looking at it not from the perspective of someone who plays Siberia modded servers quite a bit and has pretty much got the meta down for surviving. I'm looking at it as someone who's got 500 hours in the game, maybe 250 hours, and they just want that little bit of a challenge, that step up from what official vanilla DAYZ is. Okay, so for that reason, because this server provides that challenge, the fact that you're on the clock as soon as you spawn in, to quote Iron Maiden, as soon as you're born, you're dying. Love that. Love it. In this situation, when it's turning night time, we're freezing because our clothing is still not great. We're not carrying the insulation on us that we would like. We're now dying, okay? So we're white health. We're dying. We've got food on us. I don't need this fish right now. So I'm going to give it in my mind now another 5 rotations. See the white circle? That's 1 rotation. If we don't catch a fish in 5 rotations, I'm going to go and have my peaches and sardines. We can come back for the fish in another time. I might hit yellow health and it'll bounce straight back up to white when we're in front of the fire. But I don't want to hit red health and risk bumping into a player. Oh, what's this? As per page 43. Catches fish as he's talking about neglecting. Yeah. Great. Like to see that. I'm going to ditch the gun. And we've actually caught a sea bream. So there is a different fishing mod on this. I love it. I absolutely love it. I wish more servers would add in more of a variety of fish, like we had on DAYZ, those that played DAYZ. I said about cooking out here to get your fish at 70 degrees off the sharp stick. Well, we're freezing to death. It's going to take too long. Plus, we can put the sardines and the peaches straight on the stove, almost immediately defrost them, and wait for them to cool, nibble away at the cans while our fish is cooking on the stove. Alright, so we're not in the luxurious position of being able to take our time and cook outside. We're going to go inside. I should have gone back to that log cabin there, but whatever. We're going to go inside for convenience and to get warm as quick as possible, because I'd like to stay in the white or only just hit yellow temperature so that we immediately go back up into the white. We're going to have to fight some zombies on the way. Oh, we've got room for the sea bream now. The sea bream doesn't look very big. I don't think we're going to get very excited over this fish, but whatever. We've got the peaches. We've got the sardines to complement them. Oh, he's got a bag on him here. Is it better than our satchel son or what? What are you saying? Oh. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. We're going to stick to the bag we've got. Up to you. Got to do a little bit of prep for the fire, it's okay. Remember, we've got to make a drill kit still. We're not in the luxurious position of having a lighter matches or a flare. Good no Ric Flair today. So, with the baseball bat and the fishing rod on our back, we could break down the sticks and put it in our bag, but I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm just going to charge in here, get the sticks on the fire. Now I know I need 2 bits of bark and another long stick. We can put the bark in our bag, we can carry the stick. Job's a good one. Alright, let's go slightly around the corner here. We've got another long stick. There's a tree there we can get our bark from. Beautiful. Let's break this down. Rip out the stone knife. Get the 2 bits of bark off this tree. Baseball bat's nice to defend ourselves as well if somebody pushes our building. Obviously, if they shoot us through the windows, not a lot you can do about that. But if they push our building, the baseball bat will knock someone out really quickly. Another player. Even if they've got a helmet on. We're light blue indoors, which is nice. We're going to combine that. We're going to make sure we make a hand drill kit and not a supplementary fireplace. And immediately our health is going back up in the right direction. Add the spare sticks. Drop the food. Put the bark on. Light the fire. Come on, baby. Get the peaches on. I don't think you can put them on the... No, you can't. So these are defrosting for now. They're first. Top priority. Oh my god. Have you got to look at the fish on the floor on this server? No. Oh. Hello. Something new. Maybe we can get some answers in the comments. What do you do with these little fish? Do you just look at them and admire them? Do you keep them as a pet? Do I call him Steve, the sea bream? A fish from the Abramov family. Used to own Chelsea, didn't he? Or sea bream. Often they try to call other types of fish sea breams, which look like freshwater brother, but the Brahms... Sorry, sleeping there. Bear such a title quite efficiently. Okay, so... Luckily we've got other food, like I say. Because I haven't got a Scooby what's going on with this fish. You can't put it straight on there, can you? Oh my word, what? What? Bones and all? We're going to have fish with the head on? Don't like it. I want that one. Now if I go like that, they're still steaming a little bit. Put the sardines on. Wait till I've got the plus. That should then hit freezing and we can neck the spiked lemonade. That's madness. You can just put the fish on like that. Which is great if you've just caught the fish with the last use of a knife to dig up a worm. But your knife is ruined. If you catch a little sea bream, I don't know how many different fish they've got on this server. Maybe someone can tell me in the comments. can you do this to all of them, or is it just coincidence because it's a little tiddler? We can put it straight on the fire like that. I think it's great. I think it's a great idea, particularly in a really difficult, vanilla difficult, I'm going to call this, survival server. This is like intermediary to me. Okay, so you spawn in on an official server or a vanilla Karma Crew or Day 1 server. After like 3,000 hours, it's a little bit easy. Players can kill you, of course, but I'm on about the PvE element only. Surviving. A little bit easy for me. This is then, goes up to like intermediary, and then the Siberia modded servers are harder. Not always as hard as I would like. How much innuendo are you going to put out there today, son? But definitely hard compared to this. I would say it's intermediary. I could F11 now, get a different spawn, and be dead inside 10 minutes. That's what I really like about this server. The most seasoned DayZ player could just be absolutely screwed over by the RNG or the RGN. RNG? Random number generated, is it? Or RGN, the randomly generated number. Basically, the luck you get in DayZ about finding certain loot items. Doesn't matter if you've got 20,000 hours, veteran, intense, self-proclaimed king, Welsh world champion of his own living room, Godfather of souls, spawns in. Oh my god, I'm dead. Because I can't find a knife to make a drill kit. Can't find a flare, lighter, matches. I don't care who you are. You're dead. So I like that element of luck that you need. And my god, anyone would think this is scripted, the amount we've had in Solnichny. But if you threw into the mix some negatives, I'd like it to be more popular. I'm sure the Spaggies guys would like it to be more popular as well. Then you would have that extra element of danger like you would have on an intense server with 30, 40 plus people. And even if then you become some sort of veteran Spaggies Miserable Apocalypse player, you'd have that extra danger and degree of difficulty because you might get killed by a player, even if you're the king of the PvE side of the server, you know? So that's a negative that's out of the server owner's control, really, isn't it? How populated it is. But I would give it a solid B+ if we're giving it a grade. Purely because I think it's the only server I've come across. There's got to be others out there. It's the only server I've come across that caters and gives a challenge to the players that are probably not yet ready for Siberia mod and all the concussions and sepsis and palaver, but they really desperately are itching for a challenge, something to push them more than official DayZ does. Sick of spawning in and finding loads of food, kill a chicken, cut up a freshie, go fishing. The zombies are not difficult to kill. I mean, they're not difficult to kill on here either, but do you know what I mean? You're spawning in, red hydration, yellow food, freezing, yellow health, no blade. You're on the clock. Love that. It would be an A if it were more difficult for me, but that's just for preference. And like I said earlier, we have been lucky with what we found. I could have died 2 or 3 times in the time it's taken to record this video if I hadn't been lucky, but I think you can increase your chances of finding the quote-unquote lucky items you need initially if you know where to look. Like, you need to know when you spawn in, where's the nearest well. Oh, I tend to get really lucky finding food, alcohol, sodas, and steak knives on cars, so let's not sleep on the cars. No, let's not go looting every house when we haven't even had our first sip of the well yet. You know, you can make your own luck a bit. With your map knowledge, knowing where you are straight away, where's the nearest well, and by knowing how very, very quickly to prioritize what you need to do to survive. And I like the way it makes your brain tick over very, very quickly at the beginning. of the life. It's going to be about 50 minutes, this video, as we log off with all white stats and a plus. Was there ever any doubt, fellas? Drop a comment below. Did you think Spaggies Miserable Apocalypse was going to catch your boy sleeping? Big shout out to Spaggies though. I enjoyed that. We're going to keep that in the favourites list, and I highly recommend, especially if you feel like you've nailed official DAYZ, I highly recommend you giving this server a try, even if it's just once. Give it a couple of hours, let me know how you get on. If you're in the chat over the next couple of weeks, let me know how you did. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's see if we can keep pushing towards 3,000 subs before the end of the year. That would be nice. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye bye.